Hey, this is Milo, and this is episode 2 of Hollywood Alpha Male, where we take a look at famous movie scenes involving Hollywood alpha males and analyze their behavior so that you can incorporate the mindsets and techniques they use in your own life to be more alpha and get more respect. Now, this clip is from Superman 2, and of course, the goal of this video is to show you how to become more like Superman. And by that, I don't mean you will be able to leap tall buildings in a single bound or shoot laser beams out of your eyes, but I will show you how to carry yourself like Superman so that you can radiate confidence and power like Superman. This clip is a little shorter, so we're going to watch the entire thing all the way through first, but I'd like you to do something for me, if you would. And that is not to watch it mindlessly, but to watch it in a state of awareness, and specifically to watch Superman's body language. Alright? Pay attention to that. And the second thing is, and this is perhaps more important, is to notice what you feel inside as you watch his body language. I know this sounds a little woo-woo, but I can assure you it's not. Because mastering your emotions is the key to becoming more alpha. Otherwise, you will continually react emotionally to people and events in the outside environment and let them control you instead of you being the one in control. And where does emotional mastery begin? It starts with simply being consciously aware of your emotions. So without further ado, let's roll the clip.
I need a person. I have to fix my hair and some blush on.
Lois, there's something I have to tell you. I'm really...
I was, at first, really nervous about tonight.
Man, that was a great scene, wasn't it? And did you feel it? Did you feel the power that he projected once he changed his body language to the Superman body language? Small little changes like that can make a huge difference in how others perceive you. I used to think that body language wasn't very important. It's extremely important. People judge you by this all the time, especially women. They're very intuitive, and that's because they have to be, right? Because guys are trying to sleep with them all the time, and they have to do some screening. And a lot of times the words that these guys use are false, and so they are forced to look at other sources and avenues of information, like your body language. Your body language is conveying things about you like, do you like yourself? Do you get good results in life? Do you get good results with women? Do you feel like you're worthy of her? These are all things that your body language is conveying about you, whether you're consciously aware of it or not. And men notice it as well, right? We notice when another guy has that alpha male presence, right? That leadership vibe. And hopefully you noticed it in that last scene we just finished watching. Now, let's go ahead and watch this scene one more time, but this time I'm going to stop it and give you some pointers on how you can duplicate the Superman body language.
I need a person. I have to fix my hair and some blush on.
Alright, let's go over exactly what Christopher Reeve did here. First thing, he stood up straight. He drew himself up, and he rolled his shoulders back, and he kind of puffed his chest out a little bit. Alpha males are not afraid to take up space. But he's not puffing up his chest so much that it looks like he just, got done bench pressing a semi or something like that, right? He's not overcompensating. As with everything, you want to maintain a balance, and this is especially true for body language. You don't want to have weak body language, of course, because that's going to be perceived as coming from a place of insecurity. But you also don't want to have body language that comes across too strong, because that's also going to be perceived as coming from a place of insecurity. And let me give you an example of that. Did you notice that Christopher Reeve's chin was raised up just high enough that he could kind of look out over the horizon? Well, your throat is a very vulnerable area. In the animal kingdom, a lot of animals kill each other by ripping out each other's throats. So exposing your throat actually shows that you are not threatened by those around you. Now, have you seen these young gangster types that raise their chin up as high as it possibly can go while looking down as far as they possibly can so they can still see straight in front of themselves, right? Well, they're actually taking that to an extreme, right? Because they're going beyond saying, I'm not threatened by you, to saying, I'm so not threatened by you that I'm challenging you to attack me, right? And that challenging mentality actually comes from a place of insecurity. Alright, here's what you can do. Here's what you can practice in front of a mirror or just in your everyday life so you can have that powerful Superman body language. Draw yourself up first to your full height, stand up straight, and roll your shoulders back a little bit. Then puff your chest out a little bit. Again, don't overcompensate. Don't get too stiff. You don't want to be like a robot here. It's kind of at attention but relaxed. Now imagine there's a string attached to the top of your head pulling straight up. That's kind of the alignment you want your spinal cord to be in. Again, not like a robot, just kind of relaxed but at attention. And then two other things. First, if you have your hands in your pockets, take them out. Sometimes that happens when we're nervous or whatever. And the other thing is your feet. Just spread them out at least 6 inches wider than they currently are, because alpha males are not afraid to take up space. Alright, we're going to go ahead and roll the clip again here, but before I do, I just want to make one last point about your emotional state. Your emotional state makes having the right body language so much easier, and the emotional state that I recommend you have is warm, relaxed, and confident. Those three things. Now, if you look at Christopher Reeve's face here, you see he's smiling, right? What does warm mean? It means I like myself, I like other people, I like my life. Okay, and he's smiling, but he doesn't have a nervous smile, right? He's relaxed, so he doesn't have nervous energy or a nervous laugh. He's not moving around too fast. And then the last thing is confidence. And confidence in this context just means having faith in yourself, believing that whatever you're going to do, it's going to work. And I know that's easier said than done, but it really just comes from practice, reference experience. Because if you understand the underlying psychological principles behind, for example, male-female interaction and sexual attraction, if you just go out and talk to a lot of women and just keep talking to them, eventually you're going to get good at it. And then you'll become very confident about it.
Lois, there's something I have to tell you. I'm really...
I was, at first, really nervous about tonight.
So, obviously, Superman chickened out there about telling Lois Lane his true identity, but that's okay. We all lose our nerve once in a while, even Superman. But did you notice how his body language changed for the worse? He went from being very tall and taking a lot of space to shrinking and becoming smaller, to becoming shorter, to hunching his shoulders over forward in front of him, and to looking down at the ground almost submissively. And that wasn't the only thing that changed. His voice changed too, his tonality. He used to have this slow, deep, resonant voice. That's the Superman voice, the alpha male voice. And he went to the Clark Kent voice, which is faster, higher pitched, and also a lot more nasally. These are all things we want to avoid if you want to look, feel, and act like an alpha male. So that about wraps up this video, where thanks to a terrific performance by Christopher Reeve, we learned how to become more alpha and carry ourselves like Superman just by taking up space with our body language and maintaining an emotional state where we feel warm, relaxed, and confident. If you liked this video, please rate and subscribe. If you have any suggestions about how I can improve future videos, or if you have any thoughts on movies I should take a look at in the future, please leave a comment below. Thanks.